We traveled throughout the North Carolina mountains in the winter of 2025 and went to a bunch of small towns in the mountains of North Carolina. Wonderful place. It was very cold. We walked around and we met with a bunch of local business owners, and we walked into a place called the Live Oak Gastro Pub, and we met with the owner. He had a lot to say about inspiration and goals and his future, and I thought it was a really good interview. Here it is, uncut, from Burnsville, North Carolina. Brian Myler. Brian, tell me introduce yourself. Where are we right now? The restaurant?
Well, I'm Brian Myler. We're in Burnsville, North Carolina. Here after the epicenter of Hurricane Helene. We've kind of landed here. We started out a few years ago over in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, with the first restaurant that I built, my wife and I, Live Oak Gastro Pub. A massive hurricane came through there, flooded us all out. Spent a year just trying to get back on our feet, trying to kind of really realize what are we going to do next. We had an opportunity to go somewhere else that fell through, and through the course of events, we kind of ended up here in Burnsville, right outside of Spruce Pine, where we had people that knew us from this county, and over in the next county. So we've kind of built a little bridge the gap between two counties here in Western North Carolina, and kind of got a new lease on life by being here. So here we are.
How would you describe Burnsville and this area? What's the way of life like? How do folks get by?
Well, it's they call it, we're living on mountain time, really. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's a hardworking area. These people are salt of the earth people. They work hard for a living. Things do not come easy around here. So it's pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You work for what you get, and these people are appreciative of everything that they get out of life. So it's a beautiful area. Summers are great, winters are hard, but you do what you can to kind of bridge the gap between good and the bad. But these are beautiful people. It's a beautiful area, and we love being here.
What are the benefits of growing up in a place where nothing's handed to you and you got to work hard and all that?
I'm not from this area originally, but kind of being from South Georgia, from where I am, is kind of the same deal. Nothing's given to you. You gotta, if you want it, especially my experience in life, you go out and get it. I don't take anything for granted. If I want something, I don't wait for it to come to me. I mean, I'm a bulldog. I'm going to go get it. So that's kind of what this area means and represents to me. Is like, if you want it hard enough, if you want it bad enough, you just go get it. Mm-hmm. So that's what we do.
How has this area changed? What's the word on the street? I hear it's growing, but not quite overrun like some of these other Asheville spoke cities.
Yeah, we're a little bit off the beaten path of that, aren't we? Yeah, so it's really, to me, been an exercise of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You got your friends, your neighbors, the people that you've gotten to know and gotten to know you, and what can I do for you? What can you do for me? We'll do it together, and we'll build this back. And it's not going to come easy, but it's gradually, once again, and it's through the eye of really, like, we've got quartz in this area, we've got natural resources in this area, and people now are like, okay, this happened. We can focus on that now because there's so much here. Well, can we come there and help them build back? So I think that's what it is. It's the core people that have been here, and now the eyes have kind of focused on that, and because we have kind of the things that people are needing and wanting, and maybe they can come to this area, build it back and build it better, and then things can happen from there. So I think it's just an all-inclusive kind of thing like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for someone passing through town that's not from here, what would be something like a downside that we wouldn't normally see, because we see this little cute little mountain town, and then what would be like a good thing that we wouldn't notice passing through that you got to kind of live here to know?
Well, really, it's the people. Well, quite honestly, you've got great little shops like Something Special next door that have been in business for 40 years. How have they done that? Well, it's because they're there every day. And, we want to see you come in. You can see me. I've been here for 40 years. I'm a smiling face. I'll get to know you, and you can come buy from me. You can buy locally, but it's the people. I mean, it's in a nutshell, that's what it is. You come to this area and, the storm of the century, the 1,000-year storm, didn't scare these people off. They're here. They're still going to live here. They're still their family, and they're going to build it back because you know what? This is where I'm from. This is where I live, and this is what we do. And it's the people. I mean, it's just that simple. So that's what it is. You come here and you see great people that are going to make you feel welcome.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
In today's economic climate, is it tougher to make a profit in the business that you're in?
Well, I mean, it's always, I think, from year to year, in any business, it gets tougher. I mean, you get, especially in this business, for an example, we just got through this huge bird flu. We had to kill millions of birds because of that, and then there's a glut on beef, and it's always going to be tough. It's a rough road. We know this. We get into this. Been doing this for decades now, and these things. So you bend, you break, you shape. Okay, this is down, but that's up. We got to reprice the menu. We got to cost this back out and do these things, and all these things are tough, and it's it's taxing, it hurts, and it's you're always tumbling, but this is, if you love to do this is why we do it, because we love it. So yes, it's tough, it's rough, it's constantly changing, and the environment all over is doing these things, but if you love this, if you want to serve people and be the best that you can be at the thing that you do, you're going to make it work. And that's what we do. We make it work every day. So, but it's tough. Don't get me wrong,
So what do you love the most about it then? Why do you get through the tough and the struggles and the ups and downs?
Once again, somebody asked me this the other day. I was talking to somebody and they're like, well, why do you do it? And I'm like, well, because I love it. I can say easily that I don't know how to do anything else. I could go do whatever, I think, but if I honestly did not love doing what I do, cooking and being around people and, getting a instant reaction off something that you do, you put it in front of somebody and they're like, oh my God, that's what makes it worthwhile. You go through all those hardships to get to that point where somebody says, man, I love what you did here. It's just the best. Or we love coming here all the way around the world we've traveled, and we love coming back here. So that's what keeps me doing it. That's that drive, it's the reaction from people. So I can go through those hardships and be there at that moment and be like, God, it makes it all worthwhile just to hear that, so that's what we do, and I love it.
Do you think the hard work, fighting through setback stuff is going away with today's generation? Because you hear all these young people coming up are soft, they don't want to work hard, they want it handed to them. Do you feel that you're seeing that at all, or do you have an opinion on it?
I think you talk about people that are coming out of college, they're in their 20s and their 30s that can't afford homes, interest rates are through the roof, this, that, and the other. I think when I was younger, I faced those same challenges, I knew it was going to take time for me to build something, to get a house or to get a business or I just knew in my mind that it all takes time. You know what I mean? I'm going to work to achieve it no matter what it takes, because there's I think in life you get two choices. Either you do it or you don't, and where are you at? There's no middle ground. You go get it, or you rely on something else. And I don't want to rely on something else. I want to get what I want. I'm going to take it. So I think this generation that's coming up and all the talk, hyperbole, and everything that they put out there, once they get to the point where it's like, okay, nothing's going to be given to me. We're just going to go out there and get it, and they'll reach that point. I firmly believe that. So I faced it, you faced it, I think everybody faced it. To me, they'll get there. They'll want it bad enough to get whatever they want in life. So it's just that simple, But it's a tough road. They'll get it. They'll find it.
What's next for you after this? Is this what do you think's coming up for you? You're here now. If it were up to you, where's your next stop? Where's your final stop? Have you thought through all that?
I hear that in the background. Honestly, I think that's going to be the winning. That's going to be my home run in the ninth to bring home the winning run, is to finally achieve a James Beard for whatever it may be, not just for me personally, but for what Live Oak is building as a restaurant. I think we've got a story to tell. People are interested in that story, and I think we can, live up to a James Beard type of restaurant. I think it's important enough, this place, that we could achieve that, and people would, come back time and time and again to see what we've achieved and gone through and struggled and, built it back again. You know what I mean? So I think that would be my crowning achievement. I've worked for the Braves. I've done a World Series. I've got a World Series trophy to prove it, but that's going to be the cherry on top. So that's what we're working for. Absolutely.
And we have the team to do it.
Yeah, we got the people to do it. We got a great, solid team. I mean, we've got it all. It's if the eyes can come and see what we're doing, man. We'll be here to welcome them and be like, hey, this is us. So that's where we're at.
Thanks, Brian.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
Spell your name for me so I make sure you.
It's Brian with an I, the correct way, Brian,
okay.
And it's Myler, Myler.
Okay, and just for background, the Braves thing, Dina
Yeah.
told me you worked for the Braves. You did.
I worked for the Braves for quite a while. I worked for a company called Delaware North.
Okay.
The Braves, we worked for the Braves as that company. So I always say we work for the Braves because they paid her and they wrote me my paycheck personally. But, I worked there. I worked at the old Turner Field, went over to the new stadium where they're at now. Worked there for a while until we finally, the players, got to the World Series in 2021. And for me, that was the crowning achievement, and kind of moved on from there, to open up my own place. So, it's always, for me in my career, has been a series of crowning achievements. That was one before I did this. Sank to the lowest point after that I could imagine by being flooded out. But now here we are again, and I feel like, the best is yet to come. So good with the bad, and here we are, we're going to do it again. So, we're very excited about the future, for sure. So.
Well, that was a good video. Hope you guys enjoyed that report from America. So we've been to every state now, and we know so many great places that most people don't know about. If you're trying to figure out where you should move, I can help. Email me, and I'll tell you about how I can find you the perfect place for you to move to. And if you need a realtor, I can help you with that as well. No one else knows America more than Nick and Kim and Mappy. This is my email. You can also find it in the description or on the channel. Okay, so a lot of people email me and they comment and they say, where should I move, Nick? Well, I do consulting for that, as you know, but a lot of people want to do their own research. So I have published an ebook. That's right. email me and I'll send you my comprehensive and always updated guide on the best places to move in each state. We're always traveling, so we're always updating the book. Find the best places to live in America from the people who have seen more of America than anyone else. That's true. Google it. Well, hey, Nick Johnson fans. So YouTube's pushing this whole membership thing now, and I think it's great. So I set one up for this channel. If you want to be a member on this channel, you can only do it on your computer right now. They make it hard for some reason. So go and hit join right there, and you can support the channel and join various membership tiers. I'm excited about it because I'm going to post all sort of behind the scenes content, extra interviews, fun mappy stuff, bonus songs, and more. Just some extra stuff that doesn't make it onto the main channel. So think about becoming a member. Huh, everyone?
You should join. I did.
And if you want to buy some mappy gear, well, you can find that link in the description as well. You can get shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, hoodies, all kinds of great mappy merch. Click the link, get some mappy gear. I'm also on Cameo. If you want me to send you or somebody you know a personalized video message, go to Cameo and search Nick Johnson, or just click the link in the description. Thanks for watching.